Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to iLeague Season 3. We are at the Grand Finals. It's a best of 5, no winner bracket advantage. Vici versus LGD. LGD, well, they had a tough morning plowing through Malaysia. Luckily for them, it was a 2-0, so plenty of energy left to deal with Vici Gaming. Can they take the championship, or will Vici take it instead? I'm Lysander. I'm going to be joined here by Blaze, my friend. Welcome to the broadcast once again.
Good morning to all those in the Western Hemisphere. Good afternoon to all those in the East. It's bright and early for me, but I am so hyped for this game. Obviously, we got to see an intense matchup between Vici and LGD yesterday in the winner bracket final, and it went pretty well down to the wire. So obviously, Vici Gaming were able to prevail there, but it wasn't as convincing a victory as some might think. So I think Xiao 8, with a little bit of time to sit back and think about the matchups, might be able to pull something out and really just redefine this match. So already opening up a little bit differently than what we saw yesterday. Going to be picking up Vengeful Spirit and Bristleback. Bristleback pretty much one of the forerunners in the Summit 3 as far as 6.84 drafting. And I would say his nerf in 6.84C was more of a slap on the wrist. Base attack time reduction does make him less of a carry in terms of right-clicking, but this hero still scales really well in terms of when he gets effective HP. If he has more HP to work with, if he gets like an AC for negative armor, then you're going to be still dealing a lot of damage with this Quill Spray. And while you might see less Sanjin Yasha Cranium Basher type Bristleback, you're still going to see a very prevalent frontline damage dealer in this strength hero.
Yeah, definitely. Bristleback, I feel that Bristleback's power doesn't really stem from his right-clicking per se. Like you said, he's, the Sanjin Yasha Basher build, yes, it works, but the most powerful part about him is his ability to stay in the fights and how he wears the enemy team down as you progress. You can't drag out fights against Bristleback because once it starts getting to like 5-6 quill stacks, it gets crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's good in the laning phase. He's really good in the kind of death ball pushing phase where he's the one on the front line and he can always turn his back if he feels a little dangerous. This hero just feels so smooth and strong since he got his turn rate improved so that he can just always kind of maneuver the way he wants to. And we'll see if Vici Gaming can get the better of that. Maybe if you go Disruption and then you go into some instant disable that locks him in a certain position, Gyrocopter can get the better of him, get in front, get that Rocket Barrage, pounding away, but otherwise we'll just see how they progress towards the mid to late game. For now, early game, if Vici Gaming just goes Shadow Demon Gyrocopter is safe, there's not an offlane in the world that will directly contest that lane, and it'll just be somebody trying to survive and get experience. But Darkseer on the off lane, we'll see what Ice can do there. I mean, obviously, if he's able to build himself up decently to an early mechanism or something, and then brings in the wall to every team fight, like there's just so much potential with this hero. Already with the Gyrocopter, but with any other mid pick that they want to go with for super.
Yeah, certainly. Vici, they have that DK banned out for them, so super will now get one of his favorite heroes. And actually, a lot of the common mids have been taken out. We look at Viper, we look at SF, all of them remove Queen of Pain, Storm. So what are we actually left with? Something.
Could they actually go a mid Alchemist here?
Okay, yeah, we have seen it a lot. The minus armor will be great against Bristleback, and we can.
I'm actually thinking the Alchemy would be huge, because if you think about it, the Unstable Concoction in Vacuum, that's a huge AoE stun. Acid Spray is insane with Gyrocopter Flat Cannon, and although it's gimmicky to go for it for more than like a first or second item, if we would end up going to the late game, you can actually consider like a fifth item Aghanim Scepter to give to the Shadow Demon to break the Bristleback's passive. No Bristleback passive means an easy kill, and the Purge is just so good when you have that Aghanim's effect on it. So I really could see a Alchemist coming out right here.
Oh well, I like this Juggernaut pick. First of all, it's a good strong hero that can really accommodate this Death Ball. But the most important thing is Juggernaut is a kind of a block pick. It could work for Vici as well because the Omni Slash is always slashing from the front, so it does a lot of damage to a Bristleback. So there's that to counter the Bristleback. So LGD picking him up will secure themselves some kind of security with that. And it looks like they just want to play the soften the BB kind of style, getting Dazzle.
Yeah, and they can just use the weave defensively in all these situations so that they don't have to worry about the physical damage coming out from Quill Spray and from Omni Slash, and everybody just gets so tanky. I mean, Darkseer and Gyrocopter in particular are going to be just having a massive
Ten
amount of
seconds
effective
remaining.
HP here, but anybody that gets the Shallow Grave is going to live that much longer.
Five
You can
seconds
go for
remaining.
Grave along with the defensive disruption and just
Heal
make it so
bomb.
that for 7.5 seconds,
Reserve
they're
time.
just the LGD kind of has to still focus on them to keep them low, but
Dire team
it's a
victory.
nice Alchemist band, by the way. But yeah, the still is able to keep them in the fight in their own way with the Shallow Grave with the disruption. So yeah, I think that Dazzle was a pretty apt pick. I mean, obviously a great roaming duo early. The
Heal bomb.
dis disruption
Ten
into Shadow
seconds
Wave just
remaining.
destroys people, and you actually can't block that anymore. So even the
Mm-hmm.
Juggernaut and the Bristleback could be
Five
taking some
seconds
pretty
remaining.
big damage despite going for the early stout shields.
Weave and flat cannon. That'll be a deciding factor in this. I would have thought they might
Radiant
want to
team
ban
pick.
X because if LGD are desperate enough, they would just grab the X now and put it mid. And I think
Hmm.
they can still work with that because Calling Blade is just such a big, big problem for Grave. And I think X should have been banned here. But I guess they will settle for the puck instead. LGD are not your X kind of team. And oh, Yao Magnus! I asked for
Nice.
it in the last series, and we have Yao Magnus here. Alright, it looks to me like it will be a mid Magnus, so Yao will be grabbing that mid lane instead of maybe now, I think. It
Yeah, we'll
wouldn't do
have
it
to see.
justice if it is maybe, right? It's Yao Magnus.
I haven't seen enough maybe Magnus to make that call.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's been practicing it a lot, but all the same, like they can run these lanes a couple of different ways. Bristleback could go off lane or
10
mid.
seconds
S4
remaining.
obviously has shown the mid Bristleback certainly works. Arteezy a bit as well.
5 seconds remaining.
Magnus I think would be the better off laner here, but it's not an easy call.
Reserve time.
It really depends on like where you're able to position the lane. And no matter what, I think they have a good all-around draft, and no matter how the early part of the lanes play out, Shadow Demon and Dazzle don't have to just gank the top lane. You just by throwing a hero in the off lane, it doesn't mean they're automatically the focus target for these supports, because oftentimes you're going to leave the Gyrocopter to 1v1, and Shadow Demon and Dazzle are going to smoke roam towards the mid lane. So wherever they feel that opportunity is going to be, they're still going to
10
be
seconds
looking for it,
remaining.
and it's just what hero for Super will they be able to set up?
Do
What
they?
5
hero
seconds
will
remaining.
be able to take advantage of the fact that enemy's a melee hero?
Yeah.
And it's going to be Invoker.
Cross
Wax
Wax,
Invoker,
good
hopefully.
control. Yeah. We'll just skipping over Invoker. Uh, but yeah, Ice isn't the only one that plays Invoker. In fact, Super plays it more on Vici, which is a sad thing. The Ice Sunstrikes from TI were pretty amazing, and it's sad that we don't see it as much nowadays, but I'm sure he'll do as much space making as he possibly can on that Darkseer. But most importantly, do they run aggressive tri-lane here to just punish this Gyrocopter? Or is that too risky?
I think Shadow Demon Dazzle are the perfect defensive supports to punish that entirely. I think you have to keep Vengeful Spirit and Lina in the safe lane, roaming a little bit towards mid to mess with the Invoker, but I don't think they could contest it in an aggressive sense.
Alright, so we'll have BB taking
10 seconds
all that smack.
remaining.
He will be taking a lot of damage with the Soul Catcher,
5
Rocket
seconds
Barrage,
remaining.
Heal Bomb. It'll be quite the burst. I wouldn't be surprised if he just rushes a boots right away to try and stay alive. But we'll see. Yeah, he's sitting at 300 gold, so he just needs to wait a while with the natural growth progression. He will have the
Prepare
boots money
for battle.
to be mobile in that off lane. So we'll run through the teams. It's a grand final, best of 5. Once again, we repeat, there will be no game 1 advantage, so we'll have a fair fight here. And hopefully it will be a good 5 games, otherwise at least 4 games if one of the teams decides to be slightly merciful. Right, run through the teams. LGD, Radiant, Bristleback. We have maybe playing the Magnus. The Bristleback played by Yao. It will be Syla on the Juggernaut, MMY on the Lina, and Vengeful Spirit on, played by Xiao 8. So it will be no Yao Magnus. We'll have maybe Magnus instead, which is sad. Sad for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the same, although Yao Magnus is legendary, I think maybe has shown that he has a lot of potential on a number of heroes, not just the Shadow Fiend and the Storm Spirit that has become his signature, but
30
even the more
seconds to
technical
battle.
heroes he seems to find opportunities with. So we'll just see how this Magnus play works out, and I think that at the very least he's going to get a good Blink Dagger timing, and that's always a good thing for the hero. So looking over at the side of Vici Gaming, we're going to be looking at the supports first. We've got FY playing the Dazzle here with Fenrir running on the Shadow Demon. Mostly running consumables on both these supports here. The Invoker is going to be making his way to the mid lane,
The
presumably as
battle
Quaz Wex. It's the
begins.
super special there. and he does get the bounty rune to start himself off towards that early invoke. Gyrocopter's going to be at the safe lane. That's How for you. He's been playing a lot of Gyrocopter this patch. And then Ice 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 is going to be going for a Soul Ring rush on the off lane. 3 clarities. Just going to be sitting back and Iron Shelling until that Soul Ring is complete. And it's going to be on LGD to try to spam denies. That's going to be the most important thing. It's really important that a Darkseer gets his levels here because the vacuum is huge this game, actually. Vacuum into the call down, into the EMP. Like, that's just some of the best setup you can ask for in this game. So I think that it's very important that Darkseer does get his levels, and Xiaoweight's going to try to prevent that.
Yeah, I just want to see a level 25 Invoker this game. Thus far, after the patch, I've not seen a single level 25 Invoker in pro games. So that definitely Blast upgrade has not actually seen the light of day. So hopefully we get... I'm not hoping for that long drawn out a game, but I want to see a level 25 Invoker. At least once.
Sure. But how do you think this mid matchup plays out? Because I'm actually favoring Super a decent bit here. I mean, obviously we're seeing Cold Snap Harassment already coming into play. Magnus having to Corey up some tangos. I mean, I've seen a couple of times the Invoker just absolutely dominate the Magnus in this kind of a matchup, but I think with enough bottle crowing and a couple of rotating ganks, maybe they could kind of edge Super out. Do you think there's any opening there?
I always think that, well, Crossworks Invoker will have a advantage over any kind of melee class carry, but maybe, like you said, bottle crowing has always been a real balancer for mid matchups. Battle Crow makes a lot of the mid matchups really silly because you just bottle crow and you don't have any kind of problems because you have a spammable nuke like Dragon Knight or Magnus, and you just push the wave back constantly, and the Invoker can't match your pushing power. That's the main problem. So I think with Bottle Crow you should be fine, and at level 6 he can threaten a kill if Super trades too many hits.
Yeah. It's worth noting that the Radiant Ancients are blocked off here. The Bristleback, of course, would love to be stacking them since he's stuck in the off lane, but if you look at the Sentry Ward positioning, the circle is just outside of the range of the other Sentry Ward, so they just put it just deep enough, and it's not going to be de-warded, and that's going to keep Yao very sad. He's actually only got 60 experience so far this game, 25 experience per minute.
Yeah, the SD Shadow Priest will do that to you. It's a scary matchup, and a level 1 Bristleback is no tank.
Yeah, that, and he's just now getting his boots, while Fenris has boots for
Invis
most
on
of
Lina,
lane
bottom lane. They could get a kill there. Does he go for the surge? I think Ice 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 is caught out here. He is gonna go down. Yeah. First blood in classic Ice 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 fashion. Space created. And LGD will get themselves a nice boost there for their Juggernaut. Going Soul Ring? Oh no, well, not Soul Ring. Basilius. Yeah, I was tripping for a moment there. I was like, oh, Soul Ring. That's an old build. I've seen that before.
That's true, but still, Ice Ice is going to go and TP down, get level 2 at the very least, so he might have a better chance of surviving next time around. Just keeping his effective HP at maximum and having the Surge available gives him a much better chance, as being only level 1 just kind of screwed him over there. But he's going to go for the double Iron Shell play again and just push out the wave, and he will, again, be pretty limited on experience. His gold, I mean, like, he's gotten a couple of last hits here, 5 now, but it's his experience that's really going to be hurting, and that's where he needs to make up for lost time.
Yeah, the Sentry Ward still punishing Yao really heavily here. Despite having afforded the boots of speed at the start, he's still not daring to go to that lane. Gyrocopter, Shadow Demon Burst, too much.
Yeah, I mean, the Creep Librium is just under complete lockdown. They don't have a ward to block out the pull, so FY and Fenrir can control the Creep Librium perfectly with Hao's help. And yeah, that just means Yao has to stack up the basic neutrals rather than the ancients to try to build himself up, but it's still going to be him leeching experience from
this could be a skewer play here if he's not careful. Skewer, oh, the EMP will burn, maybe he's mana out. And now Super trading hits, there's the Shadow Priest coming in, and the Shadow Demon not in range for that disruption. Could have been a first blood kill otherwise. But now, well, you have the problem with your Magnus not having mana. He's bottle crowing for now. But it seems like FY had a little bit of a ping problem. I'm not sure if that was what contributed to that slow movement, or not sure.
I mean, all the same, I think that changes in maybe 1 or 2 auto attacks. I mean, you're still going to pretty much use the spell the same way. I really don't think that ping's a big issue unless you're about to, like, somebody's about to die and you miss a shallow grave or something like that. True. But just to make sure, we'll get everybody reconnected back in, and that'll make sure there's no technical issues disrupting such an epic matchup, because really when it comes down to it, these guys are just going to be head-to-head slugging it out. here, maybe 15 minutes into the game, and we want everybody to be fully at their full potential for that. But the Bristleback's gonna have a really hard time, I think, here. I mean, he did get his boots as after like 2.5 minutes. He's been trying to get some stacks going on, and he does have now a triple stack for the Western Hardcamp, but I mean, that might as well be for the Magnets as well as for the Bristleback. Like, it's not necessarily just for Yao, and it's going to be really hard for Yao to come from behind. I think the Bristleback is a hero that people are realizing can do a lot more when he gets a lot more farm, and that's why they're running him more safe lane and mid. And here, running him in the off lane, it's just not going to be the same hero. It's going to be very weak, very squishy, and I feel like it might be the weak point of LGD's draft.
The main point with this is the Ancients being blocked. I think if they had the stacks going on here, it could be a comeback mechanic later on. But now with it constantly being blocked out, it will slow down his recovery. Like you said, the Magnus will take the West Chem. Is that West Chem for the Radiant? And he'll try and boost whatever gold he needs to get up his blink. I think if he has problems, if he's like really close, he will go get the big cam and try and catch up with it and get that early blink dagger, try and build some momentum. But I think it's very difficult to get a good momentum play with Shadow Demon, Dazzle, and Invoker's Tornado at the ready. You have to catch all three of those guys or not any at all, because either one of those can really screw up your combo.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you think about an alternate timeline where the Sentry Ward does get dewarded and the Ancient Camp is available, it puts LGD and Vici Gaming both in an interesting spot where both of them know that the Ancient stacks are coming through, but Bristleback can't really farm that up until level 5. The Invoker may be around like level 7 or 8 and has the EMP Tornado. I actually feel that Vici might consider contesting the Ancient stack at that point in time with the Gyrocopter. Use your level 3 Flat Cannon, use your big bad Invoker, and try to contest the Radiant side of the map. But because of those Sentry Wards, they don't have to risk that kind of play at all, and it just leaves Yao completely guaranteed to be underfarmed this game. But we're going to see the unpause come through finally, and we'll see what kind of rotations we can look for. We already see Healing Salve come out for Super. He's going to be looking really good in this lane now. I mean, no, already we saw the EMP come through against Maybe, so Bottle Crow has to happen, but they don't even hesitate to just give Super the HP he needs so that he can bully Magnus back or out of the lane.
Yeah, it's I honestly think that Yao should have pulled an Ice and just played risky in the first few levels, because if the supports are actually roaming to gank you, because they need both their supports to kill you, and even if they do kill you off, and since First Blood has already been fed away, dying once for a level 2, level 3 boost is actually pretty worth it, I think. The Bristleback, he would have died, but the creep would not have been controlled properly, because the Gyrocopter will have to leave the CS thing to come gank. He would actually have the creeps pushed towards his tower, allowing him to get level 2 instead of this predicament he is in now. I mean, yeah, you don't have a death, but you're not exactly earning a lot of gold either.
Yeah, no, I think it's in this situation, it's much better that Ice gave First Blood and got the experience he needed to actually start jungling a little bit, roaming around, getting to level 4. First Blood is not always a bad thing if you can make it worth it in the sense that you're able to find yourself in this laning phase. Right now we have a 29 experience per minute Bristleback, and we have a 200 experience per minute Darkseer, so that's a difference maker, even if it does feed a little bit more gold to the Juggernaut early.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 150 gold. Yeah, it's a big deal to some extent, but it's only 150 gold. First Blood has been nerfed a little bit in the previous version, so it's not that big a deal. I mean, Ice has stated countless times that sometimes tactical feeding is a thing in the offlane because supports aren't able to pull.
Yeah, in that situation, I gave him his level 2. He got 2 waves of experience. He got, I think, 4 more last hits, and that's doubling up his findings on that bottom lane. So it's a small thing, but the Bristleback not being ambitious, not pushing out, and of course Vici just controlling the creep wave. The offlaners, the matchup here between Yao and Ice is becoming a very clear tip of the scales in favor of Vici Gaming. And then we're going to look for a very active mid game where we essentially are looking at a 5v4. The Bristleback is going to be a completely non-factor.
Yep, report him for AFK, I guess. Does he get an abandon because of the lack of EXP? It's been 6 minutes and 50 seconds. It's been sad. But he has been stacking up the waves, so he's gonna use his level 1 Quill Spray to do this, pulling. You will stack it up and maybe try and get some levels. The thing about the EXP mechanic is it's been changed to really reward, what do you call it, self-sacrificing solos early on. So you just need 1 or 2 good fights and then suddenly you're at level 6 again. So it's been a changed world for offlaners. Usually in the past, only the most elusive of offlaners were viable, but now everything is possible. And now Yao getting some EXP mid.
Yep, Yao gets the experience mid, and of course maybe is going to tap into that Radiant stack we were talking about on the western side, so he's actually only going to be 1,000 gold away from the Blink Dagger if he rushes out now, but very commonly you'll see the Arcane Boots here just to kind of give yourself that more effective laning phase, especially against a Wex Invoker where you're always running out of mana. The EMP is very strong here, and the fact that Arcane Boots no longer cost any mana, no longer need that 35 to get you going, I think that Arcane Boots is actually a pretty good option here. But I think maybe we'll try to go and just go for the Blink Dagger outright, and if it looks like he's having too hard of a time finding it, then he will go for the Arcane Boots instead.
Yeah, alright. Oh, Ice is gonna meet with a little problem called RP, and he will be skewered to the ground. So that'll be maybe his first gank going right for him. They will blow an RP to kill Ice. It will be a nice little advantage, and it will go towards the Blink Dagger fun. So all's good for LGD so far in this game number 1. Remember, there is no winner bracket advantage, so every game counts.
Most definitely. How's topping out net worth right now at nearly 4,200? He and Fenrir are going to start pushing onto his tier 1 with the Ring of Aquila on, and if Xiao goes anywhere near disruption range, he's pretty much dead. And FY, the body block setting up the Demonic Purge!
Easy peasy. Oh, that's a free kill. The super get his Urn charges. Yes, he does, and that's gonna kind of unlock the Cold Snap Urn of Shadows. Really obnoxious combo. You just get perma-stun with the combo here.
Yeah. And it makes the Invoker so tanky early on too, because Quas Balls already give you strength passive, as if you were skilling stats, and then getting the Null Talisman, Urn of Shadows, and Magic Wand Opener, like he has already 1100 HP. Like he doesn't die in reverse polarity like some heroes would, and that makes a huge difference, honestly.
It's what made me actually play Invoker. I mean, all the little changes, and now with the new change that allows Invoker to switch his spells around for free, I think that's one of the biggest convenience buffs that Invoker could get. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it's actually a big deal because sometimes you just don't want to lose your Tornado. You can just switch it around and then sack EMP instead or something like that. It's really, really strong. And it's just all these little buffs that made Invoker a lot stronger to play, and the Urn buff plus Cold Snap interaction, it's really good.
Yeah, I actually think that's specifically really good for the Quas-Wex Invoker. He frequently has to bring Ghost Walk as one of his 2 spells, but often wants to keep another spell on top of that. So yeah, I think that it's really nice. Obviously, the way that Invokers play these days, they leave Invoke at level 1 for a while, so it's not often that you're re-invoking a spell just to swap slots, but you know, I mean, the fact is you have that longer cooldown. You want to make it so that it doesn't cost you anything to kind of reset your spells, and then you can go ahead and go into that Ghost Walk and go for that play. But yeah, nice jump. I mean, maybe getting an insane blink timing here, and that's really just the stacking that they had going for them earlier. That gets maybe that 10-minute timing, and that's something the Invoker didn't expect.
Yeah, the power of the Magnus coming out here, the blink RP, reasonable cooldown as well. Pierce's BKB, I think that's the biggest part about RP. That makes Magnus so powerful. Of course, Empower is I've been told that Empower is actually the main reason why Magnus is picked. Although I would like to argue that RP has a lot of merits itself too.
Yeah, but I would compare RP to a lot of other spells, like Berserker's Call, for example, for the axe is really good. Almost getting the skewer. There's a lot of nice things to Magnus, but I think Empower is the defining trait that he has exclusive reign on. I mean, this steroid is better than pretty much any other one that exists. The cleave, the base damage amplification works so well with agi carries. Juggernaut, Slark, Anti-Mage even, Tiny is huge, but obviously falls into a completely different category of his own.
RP Empower on Juggernaut into Omni Slash is the dream. Like insta-giving the entire team.
Just about, and it's not a far-fetched one. It is a dream that definitely could happen if maybe he's on point this game, already shown what he can do in terms of getting the early Blink Dagger and getting 1 kill with it. But that's
Juggernaut. It's gonna be a tough kill to get. Oh, Tornado will miss, and yeah, that's it. Gank over, or is it? Cold
No, I
snap,
think- I
cold
think
snap
he's out.
urn, cold snap urn. Oh, they want to do, want to go for it. Okay, missing the urn. So gank over once again.
Yeah, I mean it's really hard to get that range and find that opportunity. They made a good play with the tornado, but Juggernaut sees them coming fast enough that he's able to get out. Nevertheless, ICSI is bouncing back really well from his off-laning woes. I mean, he has died twice, but he's got a hand of Midas here at 12 minutes. I mean, that just opens up a whole new potential item trajectory here for the mid to late game for him. You can consider, obviously, like your basic Blink and Mech and Pipe and those kinds of things, just
Gyro?
initiation fighting.
Do they have vision? I thought they had vision. They pinged him out.
Radiant structures are
No, I think they're definitely aware of his position, but as far as actually detecting him out, they do not have anything along those lines. Yeah, but the Darkseer, obviously you can go for your kind of bread and butter core items, but then you can also consider later on Shiva's Guard, Aghanim Scepter, strong things like that.
I think he needs a
Hex,
hex.
yeah.
There is no stun on Vici apart from Invoker spells. Okay, I'm gonna banish the Juggernaut. I'm not sure how well that
Oh,
works
it's a
though.
huge soul catcher, actually. I mean, it looks like they'll just let them back off, but there are so many creeps surrounding that Juggernaut. That's actually really skillfully done by Fenrir.
And apparently Soul Catcher doesn't get removed by spin as well, so you still take that pure damage bonus. So, it's a good counter to Juggernaut if you can catch him, and you can just burst him down with right clicks. And now they're gonna try and catch Juggernaut. He does have spin. He still has spin. Oh, they're gonna start with the tornado once again. The spell's really good. Cooldown will slow him though. The purge as well. They will get him right after. And as he turns around for the Omni Slash, but not enough, maybe! The OP! Oh, he gets the RP, but it's not enough! The Grave, the Disruption! Disruption and Grave! Immortal hero right here. And now he'll run away with just a little bit of HP. Xiao 8 trying to get that kill. The Urn of Shadows will heal him up, and that level 1 vacuum stops the Venge in time. Yes, like you said, Cold Snap. Insane timing there from Super, and it will shut him down. LGD lose 4 heroes down the bottom lane, and suddenly Vici back on top.
That was actually just insane. Complete outplay there from Vici Gaming. Super with the cold snap reflexes. It's like pre-hexing somebody, but you just get a couple of mini stuns that disrupts the RP timing, and Super is able to still get his full arsenal of spells off. And their save of How is just so demoralizing for LGD. Absolutely nothing from that. He gets full HP immediately thereafter, and they go ahead and just take down the tier 2. I mean, it's tier 2 in the safe lane at 15 minutes is just insane for Vici.
And they're not even a pushing lineup.
Yeah, it opens up Roshan easily. Like, there's almost nothing that can stop Rosh at this point, since RP did get used to the end, but to no effect.
Yeah, it was a crazy fight. Super's Invoker is pretty legendary as well. Ice is known for his Sunstrikes, but Super is no slouch either. He's the more Quaswack savvy one. And now they're gonna back off. They don't want to take the risk. I mean, no RP. There's still an Omni Slash. There's Laguna and a level 7 Bristleback. See, he recovered pretty nicely. He even got his Vanguard.
Yeah, and he still has those Ancients to tap into, so that's a big deal. If Yao can get over to those Ancients and make sure that he's able to farm that up securely, then he can actually start becoming hero this game. But you see, that's 15 minutes in. Though there are some Bristlebacks that would be able to actually have those items in at like, I don't know, 10 minutes, maybe even earlier. But in this game, he just got shut down enough that level 7 Vanguard, that's what he needs, but it's...
Gets stunned.
Yeah, it's far from... Oh, well, he's going to get Blink Skewer. FY caught out here. No chance for the Shallow Grave. Nice Tornado EMP, but...
But a lot of mana.
Okay, so he'll get caught in it. Arcane up. Still has plenty of mana to work with, though, with the Magic Wand bottle.
Yeah, but that was very close. The Dazzle was about to reveal all the Radiant heroes on top, and then maybe decided to strike, getting a free skewer onto the high ground. So poor Dazzle gets himself ganked on that Radiant high ground. And now with RP ready, it's a level 2 RP. They could find some big plays here. Tornadoes on cooldown for 5 full seconds. They are going to go in for it. There's your RP onto Singular Hero, but Disruption ruins the day once again. Maybe going to fly off, but the Omni Slash comes in with the Empower. All of them so low. The heals come out though. The Laguna Blade is not going to do enough damage. The Vacuum from Ice is a perfect counterplay here as the Juggernaut falls to the ground. FY very low on health. He does have Grave. He's healing himself up. Just having some patience. Patience for now. The buyback. Is there a buyback? Yes, buyback from Gyrocopter. They want to rush the Roshan now. They know that the Aegis is down, and they say, alright, time to Roshan. We'll punish LGD for that that unsuccessful gank, and without the Juggernaut, I don't think they're going to push into this.
Yeah. A big thing is that Darkseer has Blink Dagger right now, so he's going to go ahead and zone them out with the wall, and if once his Soul Ring comes off cooldown, he can actually go for a Blink Vacuum play. So Soul Ring cooling down, if he just doesn't get bashed too many times. Oh, a lot of damage coming in, and another Skewer play!
Tornado. Get that kill, maybe get that kill. The Purge and the Cold Snap gonna be more than enough. The Venge, oh, is he gonna get enough? Oh, the Purge, oh, the Cold Snap, enough to take him down. And how he's ready to go back in there, but unfortunately he's not exactly in the healthiest of states, so he's gonna back off. Juggernaut is back on the field, and he has the Mask of Madness ready to dish and dash, and well, Roshan is at half health.
Yeah, they needed the Dazzle to keep sustaining this play out here in the river. Vici Gaming are now running really dry on HP, and they have to go for a full reset. So 3 heroes running back, getting health and mana, getting ready to go back into the pit as necessary. And that's time that LGD's cooldowns are coming back here. We're going to see Omni Slash and RP for the next fight. And I think that Roche actually might not be an option for Vici for a little bit longer here. We'll have to see. Tornado not going to connect. But I don't know, Vici still want to make a fight happen, right? Because Ice actually rushed out a Blink Dagger here on the Darkseer. So the idea here is a good Tornado is followed through by an EMP and a Vacuum. You Blink Vacuum on top of that Tornado, and you have a huge range of initiation that hits on everybody and takes away a huge amount of mana. But against that, you do have 2 Arcane Boots. With MMY and maybe are running Arcanes, so the EMP isn't like a guaranteed fight winner, like it could be in other situations.
The damage,
still,
though, it's going to be a lot.
Still one-man pick off here the Vengeful Spirit. They're a little bit wary that they're walking into an RP. They're actually letting Xiaowei leave because they think everybody's there. They're so afraid of the Magnus here.
Yeah, I mean, Magnus is a hero to be respected. If you have seen any kind of Arise highlights, you would know. Magnus is one hell of a hero. And now Hao could be in trouble here. They're going to go for him. He's not careful. And powered up is Juggernaut. He's got level 2 on that Omni Slash.
Yeah. And he just got a huge boost in his farm, by the way. He was actually the one to take out all those Ancients with the Empower. And that just makes it so that he's in such a commanding position here for right click.
Super. Oh, Tornado EMP. Oh, they swap him down though. But on his man, no mana for stun. Super's gonna run away. No, just kidding. There's a big counterplay here from Ice as he backs them and walls them in. And the call down from Hao. He takes them out, but it looks like Iron Shell will do the job instead. Double kill for Ice. And they go on chasing here. Lina gonna go for that Laguna Blade on the Gyrocopter, but it's not gonna be enough. And Hao will score himself a kill. Oh no, Syla. Oh, there's the RP. Only catches Hao. Disruption saves his life, and this RP just feels so useless at this point. Ice want to get a triple. He will with the Iron Shell. Wow. And Syla, he's next on the list. Is there any kind of play here that could catch him out? Nope, no stuns. And they'll say, alright, we'll back off for now. And we'll just enjoy our 4-kill lead.
Yeah, that was just a goal change. Yeah, insane execution for Vici Gaming once again. And now this should be the Roche play. Without Omni Slash or Reverse Blade to deal with, they have the Dazzle heals to bring them back up. Max Shadow Wave, so a good amount of efficiency coming in from this spell, and of course, it is also a very short cooldown. Xiaowei really wants to contest this. Yao's going to jump in, but I don't know about this against the Dazzle.
Oh, call down. Oh man, Xiaowei evaporates. He swaps himself as a panic move. He will actually try and get out of the way in time. Hao gets graved up. They have priority over their carry player. Ice is going to be just fine. Sprints out of there. Bugs Bunny. And Syla, well, they're going to run right in. They have been contesting this Roshan for a better part of 10 minutes now.
Yeah, it's just been, I mean...
Looking at a rush pit for 10 minutes.
Yeah, catalyst for action. Here is the Aegis #1, but... Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, Vici Gaming have just this huge advantage where if they have Shallow Grave up and available, this Dazzle just provides so much potential for their early fights, especially when you're not up against LGD's ultimates. Like, if LGD have ultimates, they still can lock you down and kill the Dazzle before he gets anything off. If not, then you have no chance. The Blink Skewer plays were pretty much the only thing that kept LGD fighting in the pit. But with FY, with his full arsenal of spells, with no disables against him, there's just not a position for LGD to contest, and this might just be our last look at the Roche pit here. Double damage run Invoker.
Sure.
He's going to build up with the claws. He's going to kind of ghost around a little bit, but I think this will be the deciding fight for who claims Roshan.
Alright, we'll see if that's the case. All ultimates are ready. But yeah, you just see how sad maybe he is. He has been waiting and holding on to his RPs, but every single time he throws it out, there's a Shadow Demon there to receive his ultimate. There's a Dazzle to Grave, and yeah, it's just been super annoying. We're gonna have smoke on smoke action here, or are we gonna have a wraparound here from LGD? Seems to be the name of the game for them.
The flat cannon is going to be a cooldown for 10 seconds. LGD going in at a pretty perfect time. And the RP is going to be in a great position too.
Oh, they'll catch Ice with the Omni Slash, and down he goes. There'll be no Ice support here, but the mana burn is going to be huge. They're all pretty clumped up for now. Magnus still standing in the back like, let me pass, you fools. and he really wants to get through that, and he will not. The sentry ward will be plopped down. It will be in range of this observer. They will deny the sentry ward, so there will be no play for that. And Super, he does have cold snap as well as the EMP. They're actually going into Roshan. They know there's no ice for this. 25 seconds left, 20 seconds. They're gonna get it. They might get rewarded. Glimmer Cape keeps him alive. So much damage here. The Glimmer Cape disruption. Everything keeps him afloat. Xiao 8 and our RP. Threatening RP. He skewers an illusion. Will be brought down, but Syla, he gets purged up. Not before taking down the Invoker though. Chops up forward. Yao pursuing onto Fenrir, and they are losing a lot of heroes here. Vici Gaming, their RP finally catching Hao, and Syla dropping too low. Lina burst is gonna be enough, and FY, the only one remaining with Ice. Can they make the plays? It's Ice coming in, and we're gonna buy back. It looks like they don't want to give up this Roshan. Blaze, you said last time, this is the caster curse. This is not the last time. We're gonna sit here for another 5 minutes as everyone buys back and huddles back in this place, and MMY medallioned up. Oh man, making spaces. FY. Oh! Vacuum and the wall. Ice traps them all on the cliff. It was big, but it wasn't big enough, as maybe is able to escape that with the skewer. Could have been a full team right there if there was something else to throw on top of that, but now they're running in. It might be a bad idea to run in like that. FY gonna go down with that stun from the Vengeful Spirit. Is not enough. Ice made some pretty fantastic plays there, but that stun just went unrewarded.
Man, Invoker brought Lina down to 7 HP. With the weave already stacked against MMY, one hit nearly killed him, but he was able to get the TP off in the trees, juking around, and Invoker couldn't finish him off. Now a nice little EMP in the river, but it looks like it will be dodged out. It's a split, and now Super is being focused down hard, swapped in, gonna take a lot of damage here, but MMY!
Well saved!
Where they bring down Super while Yao tanks everything on the front line.
Oh man, I think they're dragging out this fight for too long, and they're giving LGD a lot of they're giving LGD a lot of headroom. I mean, that 4,000 gold lead they had at the start has now gone. They've died so many times, bought back, and well, look at that, 1,000 gold almost in favor of the Radiant now. The XP 1,005, and Roshan finally goes to LGD. Oh, Ice trying it again.
On the cliff is too, but he just army slashes back down, and Ice is dead. FY skewered back in. And that is actually going to be LGD taking a huge advantage in this game. Killing off 4 heroes now in the grave and the Roshan. Aegis going to be going to LGD. And that is going to allow them to push in and take some major objectives. Meanwhile, down bottom, we do see that the creeps have made it all the way to the tier 3 tower, but...
Space main.
Yeah, all the same, LGD are really happy with how this has transpired, and frankly, so am I. I mean, it's one thing to just see, like... Yeah, stalemates and hold position Dota where you just kind of like nobody acts. This is them looking at the same objective and then going for it, gunning for each other, and the clashes keep happening, the kills keep coming out, and it's just a pleasure to watch.
It's been quite the brawler. 29 kills? Yeah, 29 kills in 25, so we've got about a kill a minute. 3,000 gold in favor of LGD all of a sudden. Well, I just guess LGD have the better heroes to fight. I mean, their cooldowns are short. I mean, LGDs have a lot of aggression on their lineup, and Vici is more of the reactionary play with the Grave, Disruption, Tornado. I feel like they shouldn't have forced those last 2 fights. It really cost them a lot of buybacks and stuff.
I feel it comes down to positioning. I mean, if you're clumped up a little bit too much on the side of Vici Gaming, then the RP and the LSA are really powerful tools against you. If you get isolated, then the Andu Slash is going to chunk you down. So I really feel like there's a difficult position for Vici where they need to stay close enough that Disruption and Grave can be used without being circumstanced to those big RP combos.
It's gonna get hit. Oh, that's your RP though! Vacuum into the wall! He skewers through the wall! They will pick off they'll pick off no one. Vengeful Spirit will be going down, and Juggernaut will lose his Aegis. Now, is this the return throw we are waiting for? The spin has been used. A cold snap, Urge of Shadows will be perma-stun. Syla's gonna go down, barrage to the face. Lina Illusion's gonna betray his teammate there, and Yao is gonna be on the way out. There is a surge forward. Shadow Demon has Disruption. He wants this Yao Bristleback, and they will find him. Blink forward by Ice on that man. Oh, on that Darkseer. He will get picked off though. Oh no, the Quill's too much for him, but Hao is here ready with the barrages and tries to TP away, but Yao will still fall all the same. Cold Snap ready. And Vici takes it all back. Look at that teamfight recap. EXP resecured. Oh no.
Yeah, and the
still
tower
going
down,
for-
but the tornado is not really on the mark. I feel that the tornado could have been a lot better, but they didn't predict well enough. And now How gets skewered back into the tower. He
Style.
will not be stunned out, though. He's going in deep. He might be able to kill Lino. There's the cold snap, and it just takes one more right click to guarantee the kill. Oh, now
and the
Joey
purge.
getting right click down, and that is
kill.
actually going to be Vici just on a tear down the middle lane, going for the tier 2 tower. And it just goes to show that one kill on the Juggernaut just takes LGD's damage out of the picture. Like, they need their ultimates, and they need the Juggernaut to really have a stake in these fights, and Sylar going down there without even getting his Omni Slash off was just painful for them.
Spinning before his Aegis was a mistake too, I think. Oh no, tries to deny, nearly gets punished. But yeah, spinning before his
Look at
Aegis.
skill build. I think this is an important thing. If he spins before his Aegis with a max Blade Fury, he's fine. But because he went for this 1-1-3 build, where it's all about the value points, Blade Fury is a massive cooldown. Many situations, it doesn't matter what Blade Fury's cooldown is. You're just Blade Furying and then you're TPing away. But in this game, there's so many fights that are happening back to back to back that the Blade Fury cooldown plays a huge role in that nerf. The fact that
42 seconds.
so many carries are still trying to go for the value points, it costs them. It still is a skill that has to be considered to be maxed out. It's not like you have to max it out every game. It's not like you leave it at level 1 every game. It's something that you consider your options and you consider if you value the stats more.
Yeah, well, sure the stats what he wants now. I mean, after that little fight there. I mean, he has power to beef him up. So just going full greed here is Sylar. He's just trading one thing for another, I guess.
Exactly. It's a trade-off, and I mean, I respect the decision Sylar's made, but I will say that in that situation, it makes it was very heavily punished by the cold snap out of the Aegis.
Well, earning cold snap has been pretty obnoxious, and cold snap into rocket barrage has been pretty powerful as well. How has gone for Manta style? You want to talk a little bit about this? Minus armor, remove, skewer slow.
Yeah, I mean, you can obviously dodge basic things like the magic missile, dispel things like the viscous nasal goo, and just kind of keep how involved. But mostly it's just to get more value out of his casual Yasha. Like, he wanted the Yasha as an offensive item because he's got the defensive supports. He's got the Shallow Grave, he's got the defensive disruption behind him. So Yasha is the perfect item to fight fast and furious because you get the movement speed, you get the attack speed, you can get into those fights really nicely. But yeah, it's not an item slot you just want to sit on with only 2,000 gold behind it. So you upgrade it anyways, and you go to the next item before looking for your 6th slot. So here he goes, turns that value casual Yasha into a Manta, and then he goes for his next pickup, which should be an MKB.
Blaze, it's 3 minutes to episode 2 of Brawl in the River.
Oh, jeez. yeah. Oh, 3 to 6. We'll see. We got a little bit of time to see the timer, but yeah, that I can't wait, honestly, to see if the roast gets drawn out that much. Because I think LGD have a more convincing fight now than they did before, with the way they can go for the RP play, and Sylar being about to be level 16, where he'll have the gigantic Omni Slash to play around with. But you never know. I mean, Vici might be able to pull something out. They have the mechanism this time. In fact, Guardian's Greaves, so it's not even a 65-second cooldown, it's a 45 one.
Oh, they won the Magnus. Did they spot him out, though? No, Tornado is not going to catch him. He will blink to the top, and he will escape fine.
Yeah.
Casual Guardian Greaves, yeah. From Ice. He has that.
Yeah, he didn't have a mech in any of those fights before for Roshan #1, so that was a big factor, I think. But
How? Out of drum charges as well. Oh, Juggernaut doesn't want to jump in. I think fearing some
he can't cancel TPs anymore. He actually can't just do it by himself because he has no way of canceling the TP of How if he just goes away.
But the other day we saw a player just panic and walk out of it. So there's always that. You can go for it. But yeah, that Omni Slash now at rank 3. He is how many 9 slashes. Yeah, 9 slashes now. Without Aghanims it's 9. And we'll see how much of a there's a purge on Yao. I'm not sure how much damage he can do. They're still facing the back here, not doing much. Oh yeah, they just want to set up the call down. They want to slow him down enough for How to come in. No dodging the LSA. Big plays from him. There's no more swap to use aggressively, and the Dragon Slave will come, and now there's Mask of Madness forward. They're going to charge in on some heroes. So who are we looking for? Okay, we're going to look for the Darks here. Just charging in inside Settles for some Ancients.
Yeah, Fenrir just looking for an opportunity that wasn't there with the disruption, and yeah, Xiao just countering it out with his Nether Swap, which is now at level 2. So Now we see just kind of back to farming for a little bit longer. We're going to see the roast timer here in about 40 seconds, and then we'll know exactly when the next fight will start, because that's, again, the catalyst for action for both teams. We've seen the gold graph go up and down right around this timing where they start focusing on Roshan, and it could very well be another slugfest between the two sides at that point in time. So I'm really kind of back and forth as far as who's better prepared for this second Roshan. Like, I think
MMY. Well, if you lose your hero now, it might be just an easy one for Vici. Silence as well, the Earner Shadows and the tick down. Gyrocopter here. Brrr, and down he goes. Invoker, good pickoff.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh, Roshan
I don't know. I feel like you have the Guardian Greaves on the Darkseer where he didn't have mech before. You have a Orchid on the Invoker. You have more stats for the Gyrocopter. But I still think Sylar is going to be a huge factor. He's got a BKB at 10 seconds. He's got a level 3 Omni Slash with max crit, with the Empower. I mean, he can hit so hard. So I really feel like it just comes down to the way LGD use their Omni Slash and use, I guess, the RP on top of that.
If they try go for a solo kill, I think it would be a big mistake. So he might have to hold on to it, patience, and whether or not Vici can lock him down with the silence in time. Oh well, he has BKB, so.
Well, yeah, he has BKB, but the important thing is Magnus doesn't, right? Maybe he has 3,200 gold, but if you precast the Orchid, just like we saw the Cold Snap on bottom lane, you can actually prevent Maybe's RP for a very long time, or maybe indefinitely if you can kill him
yeah.
in that time. I mean, he has a Force Staff, so he'll probably like blink in, get silence, and then try to Force Staff out, but we've got some pretty intense kill potential from Vici, so I would not be surprised to see it turn against him, but he's going to start working towards that BKB. The Bristleback's actually already there. Yeah, bouncing back nicely here with 111 last hits.
Yeah, the Bristleback has been okay in these fights, I guess. Do you think he's been doing his job?
As best he can. I think it was just, obviously, we talked about it earlier, the weakened laning stage makes it so they can't be a prime factor, but he's still at least involved. He's on the fringe, but he's able to soak up a lot of damage. Multiple times he's dropped down to like 20% HP with this Vanguard without actually dying. And then, of course, he's still putting out quite a few quill sprays. So, as best he can, I think he is contributing.
Alright. The Invoker, once again, going to be roaming around and go swap. It allows you to run really quickly around the map. But, you know, I like this Shadow Demon picking up the Glimmer Cape as well as the Blink. Still want to see some hard disable on Vici, though. They don't have any of those, and it could be a real problem coming into the late game.
Yeah, I mean, the BKB Juggernaut makes it hard. How do you disable that Juggernaut before he gets off what he wants to? It's a tough position to be in. But Hex makes it definitely possible. All under the Observer Sentry combo. Xiaowei gets the swap. Oh no!
Go swap. Oh, he heals himself. Oh wait, no, that was not a friendly heals. Disruption saves his life. BKB has to deploy for Silent. 2 chops. Down goes the Shadow Demon. The Grave though will keep him alive for now. He deploys all his spells and he will fall. That's 2 heroes lost on Vici. Is it rush time? It looks like it's rush time.
Hell yeah, it's rush time. No buyback on Invoker. Shadow Demon out of the picture. A Darkseer would have to put out the perfect Blink Vacuum, and he's nowhere to be found. He's off the entire opposite side of the map. This is going to be a free rush for LGD, and that's a huge one. Considering how hard they had to fight for it last time, if they can really make use of the Aegis for Sylar, they can actually, not necessarily win the game off of this, but put themselves in a commanding position in this game.
Yeah, it's Ice going for Hex now, as you can see the ultimate orb. It will be picking up the Cypher fights. I think that's their main problem, not being able to start with a hard disable and relying only on silences and slows and purges, which are great, but not great against a hero like Juggernaut, because he just goes into that Omni Slash. It doesn't matter what you cast it on him, he'll go through at the same power.
So, I mean, we're just going to see LGD kind of blossoming now with these BKBs about to come out here. The Aegis already online. I think once maybe finishes his BKB, and he should just sell an item for it, like maybe the Magic Wand or Bottle, then he'll be in a position where they can just push towers. They can just deathball it, and behind the Aegis of the Juggernaut, they can feel confident in pretty much any fight. Do you think Sylar, considering his second life, goes for the Abyssal Blade here now? Oh, Fenrir gonna get the disruption. They can purge his spin, so he's gonna be slowed down. And look at that weave.
He kills
the
himself.
Negative armor. Oh, the Soul Catcher and negative armor. Right, now the Yules, they're actually gonna 2v1 him as supports almost.
Right,
and it's very awkward.
Oh no, they could actually try for the kill here. No, it's a very long BKB, so yeah. But he wastes the BKB charge. It's pretty good. 2 supports just messing around with him. They
That's
need to
huge.
bait out these BKB charges because otherwise Invoker gets a lot of his firepower nullified by a BKB. A singular BKB can ruin Invoker's day.
Yeah. And I'm curious if the situation with Max Blade Fury that we talked about before, if that would have been different in this spot, because actually Blade Fury lowers its mana cost with the increased rank down to 90, and he actually would have had mana for an Omni Slash against those two heroes. So there were Shadow Demon illusions that were still in play for a little bit there. That's been maxed out, so they last 8 seconds. So I'm not sure if it would have been a kill with the Omni Slash turnaround, but it definitely could have been. Oh, how?
Oh,
How?
it's gonna take it deep.
The big skewer.
RP. Oh no! That's a triple kill right there. Right now, what a weird LSA, but it doesn't matter. Triple kill here. The disruption's not gonna save anything. And well, good smoke gank will be rewarded there, and the mechanism will top them all up. Luckily for
They
Vici,
have
they
healing
got a
ward,
lot of
the
space.
shadows, they're ready to sustain, and it's only Isis split push that is actually making them hesitate for their next play. I mean, tier 2 mid still seems to be the objective, but poking and
nice.
popping with the palm of his hand is Darkseer there on the top lane.
Well, yeah, I think they're not gonna bother because going back now would be a big win for Vici, so they're gonna trade it. They know Darkseer can push a tier 3 in time, and he will need to come back for this. I'm not even sure they can pull it off. There is a buyback available. The Tornado EMP will come and it will cause some damage. We'll face them all back, but it's not gonna be enough. They might just lose racks at the back of this. Shadow Demon now.
So he doesn't give a shit about anything.
Oh no! Skewer, but big vacuum! The wall comes out and now Super takes a lot of damage, but there's a grave. The buyback from Gyrocopter, he's back. He deploys the call downs. A lot of damage on the Shower, enough flak all around though. But Omni Slash, how's gonna go down a second time? There's a dieback. The Soul Catcher though, it will catch the Juggernaut once. Will it get him a second time?
They wasted Demonic Purge. They can't control the Juggernaut now. He's just gonna maneuver as he will throughout the fight. They're gonna lose the racks, I think. The backdoor protection is up for now.
Okay, no, Abyssal Blade!
Nice.
Oh, very careful. Yeah, but he still gets a skewer there. Perfect vacuum into the wall once again, causing some damage. The Laguna will take out Ice, and I think Vici might be GG'd out right now. But no, they have tier 2 towers, so they are still spared. But nope, that's a GG. They know it's over. Team wipe after team wipe.
Yeah. On the back of that second Aegis, Sylar is able to do it. Just is able to pull through with buying up the Abyssal Blade, getting the lockdown on Ice they needed. Great skewer play coming in from Maybe. Solid RPs. That triple obviously was a huge play coming in from LGD, and Maybe really has shown what he can do. Maybe learning a little bit from Yao Magnuson and making it 1-0 for LGD here early in the best of 5.
The lower bracket team as well, taking the first game off the Vici Gaming. So well, Vici Gaming, you said heavily favored. Now I think not so much. There's always this theory with me. In China, the Chinese teams are all equally balanced because they know each other too well for it to be too much of a power gap. So, oh well, Director 8. Does he do it 3-0?
Oh, I don't know about 3-0, but I definitely think they have a good chance to take the match now, because they're already up 1. I still think that Vici can bring it back in the future games, but I mean, if you start off 2-0 maybe as LGD, you're feeling really good. You have a huge morale advantage, and Vici are just, I mean, from that point on, just on match point the rest of the series. So LGD looking strong in game 1, looking to really take a point of leverage in game 2, and already shown what they can do with their interesting drafting style.
Alright, we'll go into game number 2 very shortly. For now, remember to follow Beyond the Summit for all their details of future casts as well as any events that will be happening. Also, remember to follow me as well as my co-caster on Twitter. Our names on the top right corner, at Lysander and at BlazeCasting. We'll be back for game number 2. Don't go anywhere. It seems to be a great BO5 this afternoon, so we're excited. You should be excited. Stay pumped. Much love and Kappa.